Hello and welcome to In Business Talks 2, a podcast about people who work together as a couple, learn the secrets of business partnerships, the benefits and pitfalls of working together, be it husband and wife, father and son, mother and daughter, friends, relatives, or any other combinations of business partnerships. As well as speaking with other couples, we'll also let you know of any useful business apps and websites out there that our members have come across and shared with us on our regular weekly online meetings.
We're your hosts, Tracy and Ian Earle, founders of In Business, a networking and business support community. We host online and face-to-face events and we'd love to meet you. So why not come along? The link to book is in the show notes. Don't forget to check out our bonus episode, which is called The Friday Fix. Our guests this week are Chris and Rachel, who are an engaged couple behind Shoo social media, and they help you with all your social media marketing. Without further ado, let's crack on with In Business Talks 2. Welcome to our In Business Talks 2 podcast. Today we have with us Rachel and Chris of Shoo social media. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Welcome, guys.
Yep. Hello.
Good to have you with us today.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting us.
Oh, no, you're welcome.
Our pleasure,
You're welcome.
our pleasure. Right, I suppose then we should start by asking you the question, guys. What is it that you do?
Yeah, so we're a social media advertising agency. So we really focus on the paid for side of social media. So anything, obviously it's the metaverse now. So metaversing, just for everyone's reference, is Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp. So we really have a big focus and a niche sort of focusing on the paid for platforms, really. We also do LinkedIn advertising, Google ads, and also sort of YouTube, and currently getting asked a lot for TikTok. So just finished my training on TikTok advertising with them.
Oh, excellent. That sounds interesting.
That's something we've not ventured in. That's something we've not ventured into, isn't it? The TikTok world.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think that generation is still growing into it. They're still kind of at uni and stuff at the moment. But I suppose if you've got a product that is being targeting Gen Zs, it probably is a platform that people should start thinking about in the future.
How long has Shoo social media been going?
We've been going since July 2014, so coming up to our 8th birthday, actually. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. And yeah, been going a while now, so I like to think we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Have you both been in the business together for that long? Did you start it together?
We came up with the idea back in just before July 2014. This little thing called social media, is it going to be a big thing? Is it going to be useful for business? And Rachel was doing that social media marketing for her boss at the time to help attract and recruit people into his business. And then the idea was born of, well, can we do this as our own business? So the idea was born around then. At the time, I was full-time teaching and Rachel was full-time employed, and we basically set up on my broken laptop and broken dongle faculty trying to run a social media business. Why not? So the first 12 months essentially we built the business, the good, the bad and ugly that goes with the startup. So we're both working full-time alongside this thing. It suddenly got really busy. We're both working 78-hour weeks, and to be fair, that's not really changed.
That's business for you.
But it's better when it's for yourself, isn't it?
Absolutely. So then, that's it. So first, I took the plunge in May 2015. So good, almost 12 months later, I left teaching May Day weekend. Remember it clearly. I'd had enough. I'm going, and then Rachel followed in full time in the November after that. Yeah. And here we are.
I know you're a business couple, and you're a life couple, but were you together before you started the business, or were you?
Yeah,
Did the business bring you together? Yeah.
Well, the business didn't bring us together, but we did meet online, funnily enough, as people do these days. So we did meet online, and I think it was just a random night. I was just sat there. I'd been doing a bit of freelance work, just supporting some people with sort of campaigns and stuff. And they were wanting a bit of help, so we're now getting attacked by the dog because that's what happened.
Yeah.
Always lovely.
And he wants to get involved. He's still a puppy. He's 10 months old, so he still wants lots of attention. He's a very big, rather large puppy.
He is. He's gorgeous. Gorgeous colour.
Yes,
I love
part of the team. So that's kind of how it was. Just one night I was just sat there and I was getting bits of more work, and I just was thinking, better declare half of this. And then we just thought, well, clearly there's a need, that people need that type of support. Why don't we go for it and just set up the business? So just on a Friday night, just sat there in corporate company like you do.
Like you do.
That's it.
When you decide to make the decision, was there any sleepless nights thinking, what have we done? You obviously both give up full-time occupations to sort of dabble into this world of self-employment. What were your thoughts? Were you thinking, oh God, were you a bit worried about it? Or do you think, we've had enough of what we're doing, we're just going to go for it? What
you just answered my question for me. Pretty much. we've had enough. We are we're calculated risks. We like to take a calculated risk. So at the time it was like, well, we can see the future. We use social media. We both want to create our own future, our own destiny, if you like. And so it was pretty much like, let's do it tentatively, like I said earlier, with the first kind of 12 months alongside the security of full-time work, to the point where it really took off. Then we jumped in both feet and went, you know what, we're going to go big or go home.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Mm-hmm. And was your sort of vision for the business then, is it, are you looking to become a global enterprise, or are you going to get to a certain point and think, right, this is where we want to be at? What's your vision for the business itself? How far do you want to take it?
So I suppose the vision is to kind of grow the team up to about 30 people. Our passion is about the countryside, dogs and horses and things. So the team will so the idea is to obviously move to what we call the Shoo. We're going to call it the Shoo farm, and have a shoe barn as an office. And take the building that the office is actually in at the moment. We actually, my parents actually own, so it's family property. So this particular building will be redeveloped because at the moment we're sat in a shop. So we've got a shop frontage, which we don't really need it because we're a digital business, but it's nice. It's a nice place to work. And that'll be the idea in the future. And then at some point, once we get to that certain, we'll either acquire another business to grow, or we'll sell up and exit the business and perhaps set something else up.
Right. Oh, sounds exciting. Yeah, sounds interesting.
It's serial entrepreneur journeys. It's quite good fun setting up businesses.
When you first set up, then, how did you decide the roles in the business? I assume you have slightly different roles in the business. Did you sort of allocate certain tasks to each other, or did you naturally fall into whatever it is that you do? What roles do you have, and how did you decide upon them?
Yeah.
So we kind of play to our strengths, I suppose, is the quickest answer. So initially, because I was coming from a teaching world, I'm really good at spelling, punctuation, grammar, all that kind of really essential stuff for social media. Particularly when back in those days, we purely did content creation, content management. So on behalf of other people, other serious senior professional people like business coaches and those kind of high end people have been there, done that. So the writing needed to be on point. So that's where I started. You mainly did more of the strategy and the networking, because that was Rachel's strengths. And then over time, we kind of got clear roles within the business. So I take more of the lead on the vision, the purpose, the growth, and the business development. Rachel's taking more of a lead on the kind of operations side of things.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm definitely, you're definitely the why in the business, and I'm definitely the how it's going to get done.
Right.
I'm very much about planning and Gantt charts and stuff like that. My background's in events management and production, like in the corporate world. So that's kind of spinning a lot of plates and making sure things are deadlines are being hit and things like that. So that's predominantly my role.
Yeah, that's a good combination, though, isn't it? Because I think a lot of the couples that we've interviewed, they've all tended to fall naturally into the areas that they're stronger at, and you always get one who's like the blue sky, you think, and they all a bit, and the other guy and the other person who's a bit more
the doer,
the sort of the person who puts things into action and things like that. So it's quite common in sort of the relationships, isn't it? It's a bit like
So do you agree on everything?
Most of the time, we're pretty good. I suppose we've both got different perspectives on things, which is good, which you need, and you do need to challenge each other's thinking. And it's sometimes, obviously, if you're in a stressful situation, because you are a couple, you do kind of take things out on each other a little bit more. So Whereas if you were in a team and you weren't like in a couple, you'd probably be a bit more professional with each other. Obviously, in front of a team, we're fine. But obviously, when they're not here, like if we're early in the morning or late at night and we're like trying to hit a deadline or whatever, then yes, we're probably more likely to say, "Get out of my desk."
Yeah. And do you find that sort of working together, has it strengthened your relationship? Has it helped, or has it made it worse?
Well, I don't know. It's 8 years in, so listen, as a good action speak louder than words. So yes, well, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We've not killed each other. We're still here, and we're engaged, and all the rest of it. And we've got a great.
Oh yeah, because you should have been married last year, shouldn't you? Was it last year? Yeah.
Yes, we wanted to get married abroad, but obviously that's quite challenging, and it's even challenging now just trying to get married abroad, really. So I just think travel at the moment is just so difficult. So
hopefully it will get easier, and you will get there.
Definitely. But there are alternatives, so alternative options which we're looking at, because quite a few people wanted to travel out with us as well. So I was thinking, oh gosh, like if they all want to travel, it's going to be a nightmare for them as well. So it's put them under that sort of pressure during a pandemic. It's not fair on the people that do want to come. So we might jiggle things around a little bit to make it a little bit easier for people and us really as well. So.
I think another question I would like to ask you is, do you take your work home with you? In other words, do you when you sat there having your evening meal, do you suddenly think, oh, I need to tell Chris about so and so, or do you just keep work and home life separate?
Do you know, it's really hard not to talk about work. So sometimes it does cross over, but on the weekends we have like a word that literally we just say, and oranges. So everyone starts talking about say oranges, and then we try and like switch the subject. It's harder on an evening because obviously sometimes we don't finish till sort of early evening, and then you still sort of talking about work whilst you sort of cooking dinner or something.
Yeah, and thinking about the day after, aren't you?
It depends on the time of the year as well. So in the summer, because I've got like obviously a very big hobby with horses and stuff, I'm pretty much at the yard all evening. So I can get away and we're not talking about stuff because I'm sort of focused on something different. So
and I get peace and quiet.
Yes. I'll talk about work.
Win-win, guys.
Yeah, but in the winter, obviously the structure of the day is a lot different because it's dark and things like that. So you're at home a lot more anyway. So yeah.
And what's the best part of being in business together?
Good question. Don't know.
We've got the same vision. So we've got vision boards.
Yeah.
And our vision's really similar. So we're working to a team goal, I suppose, rather than having separate goals. It's quite nice because we both want the kind of outdoorsy lifestyle, walking the dog or out riding the horse, and it's countryside focused as well. So yeah, I think that joint goal, that joint vision.
Do you have separate goals as well, or?
Yeah, so most smaller ones. We've got the clear vision for the business, clear vision for ourselves, but we've also got individual goals. Like I'm big into horse riding. I'm not. I'm more into football. That's fine. But so we've got enough distinction and doing our own thing, but enough, I suppose, focus on where we want to go.
Yeah. So, would you say that you've had a really big high? Is there one thing that Shoo social media has achieved in those 8 years?
I think we've done a lot of work with the Simon Sinek stuff, and it's this kind of your vision, your purpose, your passion, your why. It's such a hard thing to articulate, but we've been working hard for the last 3 years, and the closest we've come to it is we believe in challenging what's possible so that others are inspired to achieve their own greatness. What does that mean? We've got the academy, we can see people in the background. We've got things like Digital U to help businesses across Yorkshire. We've had Fashion Fiesta running for years. That's about helping entrepreneurial fashion designers and business people alike. So we've managed to help and inspire and empower. I know that word empower gets thrown around a lot, but actually being able to help people, genuinely help people with their own careers and their own businesses over the years. So one specific thing, no, but helping lots of different people, yes. You think?
Yeah, I would probably say that's probably one of the key things. I think as Shoo is growing, it's all the different arms that we've created to help support and grow sort of that giving back, which has been key, and kind of learning from our experiences and sharing our knowledge of not what to do and stuff, or how we, particularly me, of like being bullied in the workplace in my early career. So I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, really. So I've made sure that they've got an environment where, you know, if something goes wrong, you're not being shouted at. And I think that's kind of the environment we want to create. It's a challenge, it's a problem. Everybody's there to help each other. So it's a nice environment to be in, not that I've sat on trains going into London thinking, and your stomach starts sinking and you feel sick because you don't want to go to your desk. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there in the world that feel like that. Getting up at whatever time, I think it was getting to your desk at 7:30 in the morning and working 9 till 10 o'clock at night, and you're just not productive in any way whatsoever. And I'm hoping companies, because of COVID, do change that policy. And I think people are starting to reevaluate their careers at the moment as well.
Definitely, there's been some big changes. I think this COVID's brought about a lot of changes that have probably taken years to eventually get there, but have happened in 18 months, haven't they? Which is pretty good. It's accelerated a lot of things that should have been accelerated, I think. Right, guys. Now I've got a question. Who should I ask first for this one? Right, who should I ask? Shall we do? We'll do ladies first. Obviously, sorry, Chris. Ladies first. So, Rachel, what is Chris's most annoying habit at work?
Ooh, at work. Interrupting me when he's got an idea and I'm working on something. That is probably my biggest pet peeve. I'll just get that and I'll be in the middle of a project and I'm in doing some deep work, and then I've got an idea. And I'm like, oh, he's just broken me off something.
Ian will agree with you there, because I'm a bit like that. I'm like, Ian, what about this? Ian, have you done this? Have you? Has this happened? What are we doing here? What are we doing there? And he's like, trying to concentrate on editing a podcast or something. And he's like, you can hear him.
And then it takes about 30 minutes to get back onto the task. Completely distracted.
You've got to refocus,
Yeah, and I've got to refocus and get back on that particular deep work requirements. Yeah, so that's my biggest.
Right, thank you, Richard. Now, same question to you, Chris. What is Rachel's most annoying habit at work?
Did you say one?
Well, you can have two. We don't mind.
You can only have one.
Yeah, you can only have one.
No, no, seriously. For me, it's the other side of the coin. Because I'm coming from a point of I'm excited and I've got an idea, I want to share it, I want some idea, I want some attention, I want some input, and I want to get the momentum going. So when I don't get that, because rightly so, Rachel's on the project, that obviously then that's frustrating for me, because after that I have to go off and grumble in the corner, talk to Cosmo, and then put a time slice in the diary to talk about it. So, compromise is probably the learning there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's surprising that sometimes that does happen. It's like me, I can sit there and I think, oh, I've got this idea. And it's if I don't say the idea there and then I'll get it out there, I'll either forget about it, or it won't seem as good.
Yeah, so the momentum is kind of lost.
So I have to share it straight away. And I'm probably a little bit like yourself there. I can tend to do that. So I've got that T-shirt bit as well, Chris. I know what it's like to sort of...
Yeah, so you just want to get your idea out there and then do something with it, whether it's a good idea, bad idea, get some create an action plan, whatever it is. But then to get almost not shot down intentionally, but it feels a bit like that sometimes.
Oh, you're thwarted. Oh, so is there a worse thing about being in business?
Worst thing? No, I can't think of one.
No,
wouldn't have any other way for me.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to go back to corporate life.
No.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't want that lifestyle again. But I think for me, I suppose even in corporate life, you don't really switch off properly. But yeah, I think I'm kind of happy. Like it's not as though I dread going to work. I love getting up in the morning, get up even earlier now. Get up earlier and like, oh yeah, this is great, But I'm actually getting up because I'm passionate about it, rather than getting up because I have to, and then I have to jump on a train and travel. Because I used to live in Windsor and I had to travel into London, and on those, as the days got darker, it was horrible. You stood on a train platform going freezing. And it's awesome. So I definitely wouldn't change any of that. But I don't think there's anything really that's kind of standing out. I think sometimes it does sometimes you do have long weeks, because I'm doing an MBA as well, so I've literally had no weekend, so I've literally got 2 weeks on the trot without a day off. But that's fine for me because it doesn't feel like work.
No. No.
So, but if you were in the corporate world, you'd be like, well, I've not had 2 days off this week. Why not?
Yeah.
But I was just like, actually, I really enjoyed it. I'm probably a little bit tired and I like a little bit of an extra hour in bed, but that'll happen on Saturday. It's fine.
And if you could turn the clock back 8 years, and if you could do it, I think I know the answer. If you could do it all again, would you?
Yes, I think. Well, then again, the answer would be I didn't have the knowledge at the time. I don't know what I know now, what I did then.
Yeah.
But if I could take that knowledge, if my question slightly cheating, if I could go back with the knowledge I know now, absolutely. And the things I'd probably change would be surround yourself with the right people quicker, get good, whether it's outsourced, whether it's partners, strategic alliances, whatever, accountants, whatever it may be, get good people around you and probably delegate a lot more instead of trying to do everything, which is definitely my weakness, still is now, but I've got better at it over the years, being able to give stuff and outsource and, delegate more.
Yeah, definitely. Probably more the delegation of work, really, rather than trying to keep hold of it. Definitely, it frees up your time a lot more if you've got that team around you. There doesn't have to be an internal team; it's your external team as well. So it's just about making sure you've got the right mindset as well in terms of doing that, and the people that you surround yourself with have the right mindset. So,
I mean, this question probably is, you probably answered it in that answer from the last question, but I was going to ask you if you got any tips or advice that you give someone who was thinking of going into business with a partner. What would it be?
Be clear on, well, do you like them for starters?
That helps.
That helps, yeah.
Yeah, it generally helps because you're going to be spending, obviously, you've got a lot of crossover between business and pleasure. And obviously one of the cardinal things of business has always been never mix business and pleasure.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Here we are, you guys are doing it, we're doing it, and lots of other businesses are run by couples. So it can be done, but I think you've got to be clear on, is it the right person, obviously, not just business, but personal. And I think the key thing really is to be clear on what jobs people are doing, what is their role, who's in charge of this, who's in charge of that, and then you can learn when to step back from that bit that's not yours.
Yeah,
sounds like some sound advice there. Would you agree with that, Rachel? Yeah?
I probably agree with that as well. Just making sure it's the right person to be in business with, really, and also just making sure that you're on the same journey, career-wise, whether that's running the business or the industry sector that you're in. Making sure you've got some kind of passion for it in the first place, because otherwise, if there's no passion in that particular and you don't enjoy it, it's going to be very mundane.
Yeah. So what do you think, if you could sum it up, what is it that allows you to work so well together? What is it that you think? Is there a spark there? What is it that allows
the magic key?
Yeah. What's the magic ingredient? Yeah.
That's weird. There's no magic. I don't think there's a magic ingredient.
It's me.
You're the magic ingredient, Chris. Yeah.
We all need a Chris to work with then.
For me, I think if you've got time away from each other to have your own time to do your own thing, I think it helps. If you didn't have a hobby outside of your relationship or work, then you would be in each other's pockets too much. I think if you've got something else that's your own, then you feel responsible for it. Because I'm an only child, and I do like to do things for myself. So having that hobby where it's my own and I'm responsible for it, that kind of helps me. That gives me some time out of work and time away from Chris, and then I'm happy because I've got that. not in a bad way, but I've got it's my
you've got other interests. You've got something else.
It's my own thing, and I've got ownership of it. And, Chris has got no passion for going to muck out a horse on a weekend. That's all.
I can understand that, Chris. That wouldn't appeal to me too much either.
Me neither, really.
Yeah, and I think, and Chris has got other hobbies. I have, as much as I don't mind football, I've got no passion to go and play it or watch it. So I think that's the key thing, is having that your own time, even if it's just for a couple of hours, just to be you.
I think bringing it comes right down to communication. You've got something else to talk about.
Yeah.
So you probably same when you kind of do your 9 to 5, your 10 to 6, whatever. but you always end up with that bright idea in an evening talking about something that's happened, or you've got this idea or whatever, and then you get sucked into that whole conversation. Your work day becomes a 10, 12, 14-hour work day.
Yeah.
But if Rachel's breaking off straight after work and she's going to see JJ, and then she's doing the horse thing, coming back, then I've been out with Cosmo, we've got something different to talk about. How's JJ, what's going on, and then you're not getting sucked back into work.
So if people do want to get in touch with you and use your services, what would be the best way for them to do that?
There's so many ways. So on all our social media platforms, over email, on our website, or simply pick up the phone and pop in for a brew. Or if you're driving past, just pop in for a brew. We've got a nice little outside garden where people can, in the summer obviously, can sit outside and have a drink. Or they're welcome to, obviously we're allowed insides of businesses, and they're very welcome to pop in for a brew.
Okay, cool.
Lovely.
We'll make sure we put all these details in the show notes anyway, so people can know how to contact you should they wish to do so.
Mm-hmm. It's been lovely talking to you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. It's been interesting, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's great to talk to another business couple.
I know. See how it all works.
Yeah. And good luck in the future as well in growing your business. Yeah,
same to you guys.
Okay, so take care, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So, Tracy, what's our knowledge share for this week?
Oh, another good one. It's called Content Drips, and it's contentdrips.com. It's a content creating tool for your personal brand. So you can basically put all sorts of designs together, carousel templates, quote templates, LinkedIn graphics, basically from templates or from scratch.
Wow. Will we put the details in the show notes?
We will put the details in the show notes.
Super. Well, what a great share. Get in touch and let us know if you try it and what you think. We're almost at the end of this week's show. Just a reminder before we go, don't forget to book your place at one of our online networking events where you can meet some great business owners and build those business relationships. The best business comes from the best relationships. The link is in the show notes.
We'd like to mention our books, which are available on Amazon. First one is How to Improve Your Business Networking Skills, and it's 52 tips to help you with your networking. Our Notably Networking one-to-one notebook is a place where you can keep all your notes from those follow-up one-to-ones. And last but not least is our 90 Days to Your Success Journal, where you can plan, set and plot the actions you will take to achieve your goals.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on In Business Talks 2. We hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, all we ask is that you simply tell a friend about the show. And please follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, this is Ian and Tracy, and together
we are in business. Goodbye.
Goodbye.